Okay, I did a video a few years back about fall mushroom hunting. I'm back out here in the fall and I'm going to cover just a few other subjects about fall mushroom hunting. Okay, first of all, I've got some honey fungus here, or stump fungus. Now, if you see how bright yellow these are an early form. And they're usually quite a bit larger than the later form. They're more yellow. They're more of a yellowish color. The other are more of a tan, like the color of honey. But they're both honey fungus. Now, I got out here late this year. So most of these, I'll show some other examples. Most of these are already gone. They're spoiled. Let me cut a piece of this and we'll have a look. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. We'll have a look at the underside. Now you can see the brown, the tinge of brown on there. Right here you can see that tinge of brown. It's spoiled. Sometimes it'll have a little bit and you can cut it away, cut it in half. Now see, that's gone. These are gone. There's bushels, several bushels of them in this woods, but again, it's too late. They're spoiled. I've been busy with other things, so I didn't stay on top of it like I normally do. Here where I managed to find a few clusters with buttons and cut away. I got about a half a 13-gallon garbage bag full. This is an unusual year. Normally this mushroom fruits in the end of August to maybe the middle of September. But we've had a really unusual year this year, and this is August 3rd. Excuse me, this is October 3rd, and I've never seen this mushroom this late in a year, but it was hot and dry all through August and September. Now we're getting cooler weather and rain. A series on beginner's mushrooms, and in the first video I talked about inoculating trees. Now this is a big old oak, old, on its way out. Now I inoculated this, and you can see it's just starting to take. You can see by comparison, the size of my hand, it's small. Another 2 years or so, and depending on the rain also, this should get about the size of a basketball, and there may even be like 2 or 3 coming up around this tree. And that's from spreading and inoculating, just breaking up pieces of it extra and spreading it around potential areas. You want to stick with oak trees on the end of the woods. I have seen them coming up on maple, but not very much. Mostly they come up on oak, old oaks, and old stumps. Trees have been cut. So you want to kind of stick with that as a guideline. Okay, now I did a video on spring mushroom hunting. And I'm going to show you here in a minute why I enjoy fall mushroom hunting. You can find, there are some people that find a lot of morels. They're really good at it in better areas. And you can find pink bottoms sometimes. Shaggy manes, a little bit of inky caps, oyster mushrooms. But pound for pound, fall mushroom hunting, spring mushroom hunting doesn't even compare to fall mushroom hunting. In fall mushroom hunting, you measure your find by the bushel. And I'll show you why right now. Let's walk over here. I was out here yesterday. Let's walk over here and look at this stump, and you'll see why. Okay, I don't know if you can see all these. Probably can. It's a little dim today. But these are called elanomas, the shrimp of the woods. And as you can see, they're just all over, literally all over back in there. Bushels of them. But also, I want you to notice, off of the same stump, right there's a little hen of the woods coming up. And there's another one. And I believe there's another one here. Yeah, there's another one right over there. Now it's not ready yet, but I did cut 2 of them yesterday that were ready. And you can see, look at all these stump fungus, elanomas. They're all over in here. And the stump fungus too. The elanoma, they're not too late. They're not spoiled, but the honey fungus, most of them are already done. And again, here, this is a dead old oak tree. I've been picking, we call them cow's mouth. So for the sake of my rearing, I'm going to call them cow's mouth. I've been picking cow's mouth off of this stump. It actually was a dying tree for better than 15 years. And just look at the amount of fall fungus you can get. I mean, if you can find this volume of morels, hey, I'm jealous of you, but good luck. Okay, now with the solanoma, you'll see this white fleshy material right in the proximate area of it. You'll see some more over here at the base of it. And if they call them corphopoids, if I'm saying it right, it's a Latin term. I'll try to put it in the video later on correct. But when you're picking these elanomas, they should always be in proximate to fleshy material. You shouldn't pick any gray mushrooms that aren't together with them. And again, you know, you want to be careful with your spore prints and that. And we'll cut one of these and cut one of these corphopoids in a second here. Okay, I want to make a correction here to the name of this mushroom. It's Entomoma abortivum. The name of the spongy mass is carpophoids. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut away a little of this material. Both of these are edible. Now you can see the inside are white and they're spongy. Inside is white and it's spongy. Okay, let's go ahead and cut this elanoma. You can see this mushroom is gray, both on the inside, on the bottom, and on the top. It has a pink spore print. I think one of them put a little spore print on top of the other one. Yeah, you can. If you look down in here, you can see where they're overlapping. Right here, you can see where they're overlapping this pink spore print. So you want to make note of that. Pay attention to that, because it's important. Now here's why it's important to pay attention. If you see this elanoma, this big one, you see these little ones. Now they're a little different color. That's because they're a different mushroom. They're similar, and they're growing almost right together, but they're not the same. So you have to pay attention when you're mushroom hunting. There's some more little ones right there. They're growing right in amongst them. Okay, I've moved in a little closer to this stump now. You can see this cow's mouth that I cut yesterday. There's another one over there. And these other 3 little ones are over here. They got about another week, 3 days to a week. It's raining, so they'll open up a little faster. There's 8 more of here in the woods that I know of. My friend John found about 4 or 5 big ones around the corner. Got probably at least a bushel of them, just out of pulling 4 or 5 mushrooms. The hen of the woods are they get quite large and produce a lot of pounds of mushroom. Okay, now I don't normally do this, but for the video's sake, this mushroom here, this elanoma, has a large base. So let's pull it and have a look at it. See exactly what it looks like here. Yeah, you can see there's a large underground complexity. And I think what happens is some of these come up as these coprophytes, and some of them, that's the complex that's underground. And some of them just fruit up as mushrooms. But they're both some type of fruiting body, so they're part of the system. Wikipedia suggests that they parasite honey fungus, or that the honey fungus parasites this mushroom. They're not really sure, but I don't think so. I found them growing together, and I found them growing separately. You can see in here, they're totally separate. Right in this area is no honey fungus. A little further over to my right, there's some honey fungus growing in there. So it's just my personal opinion. I don't think that's the case. But I'm no mycologist. I'm not the expert. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple things here, make a suggestion to you. As you can see, these are wild blackberry bushes. And they're thick in there, and the mushrooms are up underneath there. Some of that area is hard to access. So try and remember, when you go mushrooming, you're not always going to be in the open woods. It's a good idea to get you a pair of old blue jeans, something a little tougher material for pants. Same thing with your shirt. You know, if you can get some, I don't know, some canvas like shirt or any kind of heavy material to kind of ward off some of this stuff. Another thing is, you'll see all this wood. It's all knocked down, there's stumps and everything in here. And the reason why is I'm hunting a power line slashing, as you can see. Okay, there's our stump full of mushrooms. And power line slashings, railroad tracks, places like that are often good places to look for mushrooms, because they have to keep those trees trimmed away from the power line. So there's a lot of downed wood, tree branches, stumps in this particular area. Okay, there's our cow's mouth. There's the one. There's another one over there, a little one. Another one back there. And to my surprise, I went back in here to cut some more of this elanoma. And I found, I don't know if you can see it very well. There's one right there. There's one right there and a little one behind it, and there's another one right there. It's big enough to cut. Now bear in mind, I cut one off of this yesterday. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 of them on this stump. There was 9 of them. Now normally I used to get about 4 to 5 of them off of this stump. But again, this is what I'm saying. This is the purpose of this video, besides the information, is to show there is no comparison in the abundance of spring mushrooms compared to fall, normally. Here's yet another stump, and you can see it's just full of elanomas. Now there's no stump fungus or stumpies coming up on this particular stump. No cow's mouth, hen of the woods, just elanoma. But we'll move along here and show some other stumps. Okay, here's another stump, and this stump again is full of elanomas. Right here is the stump. There's a bunch of stumpies or honey fungus around the base of it. A lot of it, it's old, it's spoiled, smashed up some of it. We'll keep moving along just to show the amount of mushrooms that you can pick in the fall as opposed to springtime. The elanomas alone, probably right here in this area, I'm guessing there would be about 2, 3 bushels full at least. Stump here looks like an old rotten chicken of the woods. Came out earlier in the year. That white mass there. Now here's a stump. It's just loaded with honey fungus. You can see them all over in there. There's some turkey tail, which is a good mushroom for making tea or to add to soups. There's a lot of health benefits, a lot of antioxidants, cancer fighting agents in that turkey tail. I'll show a little close up here in a minute. Okay, this is what they call a turkey tail mushroom. And they call it that because, as you can see, it's fanned out here, and it has multicolors, versicolor, like a turkey's tail. Very good mushroom. Now the turkey tail is dry and leathery, so you have to cut it, dry it, and grind it, like in a coffee grinder. Add it to soups and stews, make a tea out of it. The flavor is like your store-bought mushrooms, your agaricus, the flavor of the tea. Okay, in this particular power line slashing, about 4 or 5 years ago, I found about a couple dozen morels. I've come back every year since, and I haven't found any more. So that's exactly what I'm saying. 2 dozen morels in 4 or 5 years, as opposed to bushels and bushels of mushrooms in 1 year. Okay, we're going to go in here. There's another stump. The hen of the woods. I cut one yesterday, was ready. These are getting bigger pretty quick. It's damp, it's raining now. You can see there's another one here. I'm thinking there was yet another. Maybe not. But I cut one yesterday. You can see this is getting pretty good size. Probably cut this by tomorrow.